Hello there. I'm Vamsi Lingamaneni, and 214-724-058 is my SUN number, and I'll be doing my final project demonstration. So let's get right into it. If you read the document I submitted along with this uh, final project, you would probably understand all the features I'm doing in this video. And I explained quite a bit about like the code and stuff, but I won't be getting into the video. I won't be getting into it in this video. Sorry. So before we start, this is a calculator. It does four main operations: addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. And when you're doing division, it also does the modulus function. We'll be using the rightmost switches. Switch 3 to switch 0 for first input. Switch 7 from here to switch 4 is your second input. And your these two switches are your state of the operation. So for example, it's in addition now. When it's in 0 1, it's in subtraction. 1 1, it's in division. 1 0, it's in multiplication. And more about it is explained in the code as well as the document. And here's the displays, the 7 segments. So first input, second input, and here's the output. And I'll explain a couple of things to be noted with my calculator. It's that when you're doing division, so it's in one state, 0 divided by 0 is not doable in my calculator or any math calculator. So you can't do that, or you can't even do 0 divided by, sorry, you can do 0 divided by 3, that's 0, but you can't do 3 divided by 0, that's an error. So E1 means an error, and that's the only error this calculator has. You can't divide it by 0. That's a key rule. So I'll just do some simple addition. For example, 6 plus 3 is 9. That's just simple. But 9, sorry, I'll do 9 plus 8, for example, is 11. This was used in lab 3, I believe. And yeah, so as you probably noticed, this right here, the left output display uses, like, it's used as a carryover. And yeah, you can do other stuff like 9 plus b is 14, like there's more. But due to time, I won't be going every single scenario there is. So when you're doing 0 1 state, so that's subtraction. So you can do, like, for example, 2 minus 1 is 1. But when you do like 2 minus 7, for example, that's -5, right? So I implemented, when you're doing, when the second input is greater than the first input, I also implemented the negative sign feature. And yeah, that's that. And when you're doing multiplication, one thing to keep in mind is that I'm putting everything in hexadecimals, and I explained that in the report as well. So when you're doing, for example, 0 times 7 is 0, obviously, but 3 times 7 is actually 21 in decimal, but in hexadecimal it's 15. And yeah, and one thing to note is E1 actually shows up twice. That's because that first E1 I showed you, sorry, let me focus this. That first E1 I showed you was error 1. This is just the output E1. You do F times F, which is 225 in decimal, but in hexadecimal that's E1. So please remind yourself about that. And yeah, so multiplication, you can do D times F C3, and if you go to a hexadecimal calculator, like D times F should give you that. And I tracked pretty much every single output. I kind of ran through the online calculators, the binary calculators, and to see if I got the actual input, and I did. So here, for example, 9 times F is 87 in hexadecimal once again. So there's that. I think I pretty much shown all the features, the carryover, the negative. Oh yeah, when you're doing division, sorry, one last thing. I know we're running out of time, but so when you do, as I mentioned before, when you're doing division, so 8, for example, 8 divided by 3. Uh, so 2 is the left output is your quotient, and the second output is your remainder. because 2 plus 2, 2 times 3, for example, is 6, plus 2 is, the 2 is the remainder, is equal to 8. So that's basically how you do division, or that's what I did for division. I'll put it the quotient as well as the remainder. So yeah, there's that. That's my calculator, and please read the my code, because I had a lot of comments in there, as well as my document for more information about the calculator I made. Thanks a lot for watching.